All right, so now that we are in our Google Classroom, we're going to go a little bit deeper and do some classwork. Bounce over to our Classwork tab. This is where you'll see the assignments again. So in this case, we're going to start with science. We have our Discovery Education. You see the due date. If you click on it, that'll open up the directions and show you any links. And then if you click on View Assignment, it takes you to a whole nother page where it's just about this assignment. Same thing. The directions, you see any external links you might need to use. You also see the ability to add or create. So if the teacher said, write whole paragraphs about this, you can actually open up a Google Doc by clicking this button and add a Google Doc to it and turning that into your teacher. Or if you're just done with the assignment, you'll see the Mark as Done button. And that is only used for non-Google things. So in this case, we're using Clever to get to DiscoveryEd, neither of which are Google. Google Classroom doesn't actually know it's done. You have to tell it. Now, if this assignment was a Google Doc that just had some questions the student had to go through and answer, or it's a Google form, Google will be smart enough to know that they're done because it's their own product. So instead of seeing Mark is done, you might see buttons as turn in. The difference between those things. But either way, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the assignment. We're going to click the link. And since DiscoveryEd is one of our Clever products, it is going to take us to Clever. We'll go ahead and log in real quick. Enter student ID. So username is your first name, first initial of your last name, last four of your student ID. And then password for all of our students this year is their 8-digit birthday. So make sure you do add that 20 for their birth year. We'll log in. Now that we're logged in, and this is just for clarification here. So even though the assignment took us to Clever, Clever is really nothing as far as assignments are concerned. Clever is how we have students sign into things. So just kind of like, you at home as a parent, you might have 15 different usernames for 15 different accounts. Our kids don't have that. We try to get as many apps to use Clever to sign in as we can. So it's known as a single sign-on app. So you go to Clever to sign in, but then Clever takes you to DiscoveryEd, or it might take you to iReady, or it might take you to Newsella, whatever app that teacher has you using. So we sign in through Clever. Clever automatically sent us to DiscoveryEd, and it automatically sent us to our assignment. And this is the DiscoveryEd layout. So you'll see the activity, you'll have a video to watch, you'll have your organizer to fill out. I got all of those correct. And you'll see kind of the same thing with most of our assignments. Outside of Google, inside of Google, inside of Envision, whatever. There's going to be some kind of way to turn it in. In this case, you have the submit button. It tells you, okay, yeah, I got something wrong. It happens. Now, it actually tells you submit it to your teacher. And just like I talked about earlier, though, even though it's been submitted through DiscoveryEd, because DiscoveryEd is not a Google product, I go back over to my Google Classroom, which is still open in my previous tab. Go click on that. Google doesn't know it's done. So since it is done, I just want to make sure I mark it as done. So I, as a student, or you as a parent, will know this assignment's no longer due. It's no longer late. It's been turned in. Even if you don't hit this button, going back over to my other tab here, it is turned in no matter what. Even if I don't hit this button, my teacher will still see it because I turned it in through DiscoveryEd. This is more just for your own Google Classroom organized, so you know what's doing, what's not doing, what's been done and what hasn't been done. As soon as I mark it as done, you'll want to confirm that. Are you really sure you're done? Yes, it's done. Now it has been turned in. Now, if it turns out you hit that accidentally, you're like, oh, I thought this was my Newsella assignment, not my DiscoveryEd assignment. I better go unsubmit it. You can unsubmit it so your teacher knows you're not done, and then go through and complete it. Once we go back over to our classroom now, so go back to our Classwork tab, you'll see now my assignment has been turned in. So no longer due. It's still due September 4th, but I know as a student or as a parent checking the Google Classroom, my work has been turned in.